Hey YouTube, back with another pickups video. I'm going to go through these in chronological order of system release. I've got one Master System, one PS1, two PS2, two Gamecube, one Wii, one PS3, a 3DS game and two PlayStation 4 games. So start from the beginning with the Sega Master System game, and that is Secret Command. Look at that cover. Some of these Master System covers were absolutely disgusting. I mean, look at that. Now, this was released as Secret Command in this country, but in America it was Rambo First Blood Part 2. And I really like the look of this game. It's got an Ikari Warriors kind of look to it, top-down shooter. Difficult as hell. I played it last week, but really like this sort of game. Just a case of progressing forward. You've got your rockets, you've got your machine gun, and you can pick weapons up. You've got to save hostages. And yeah, I think it looks like a really good game. So that one. For the PlayStation 1, I've got a Coogee The Heartless. And this is like a 3D action-adventure game. Very dark tone in this, and it's got a nice tribal kind of soundtrack. And again, don't know too much about this one, but saw a YouTuber playing this one and thought it looked quite interesting. It's got kind of mixed reviews, but again, got to play these games and make my own mind up. It's kind of got a Legacy of Kain vibe to it as well, so really looking forward to playing that one. The two PlayStation 2 games I've got here. One's a JRPG, and that is Rogue Galaxy. Again, this has got your 7 out of 10 kind of game. But yeah, I like the look of this one. It's got I love my RPGs anyway, but it's just finding the time nowadays to actually sit down and play them, especially with a baby. Next game I got here is Castlevania. I believe this is Legacy of Innocence, but then that just might be an American title for it. Let me know in the comments below if you could. But I really do like my Castlevania games. I like the sort of dark horror combat and styling of these games. My favourite game of all time, or one of them, is Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. Love that game. And Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation 1, which I don't own, but I have a digital file version of that on the PS3, and I can absolutely see why there's so many fans for that game. It is absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So I thought I'd give this one a go. There's another one out for the PlayStation 2, and the name eludes me. Something like Demons, so Demons of Darkness, something like that. So I'm going to keep my eye open for that one. But really looking forward to playing Castlevania. On the Gamecube, we've got an action 3D platformer called Vex. Again, this has got mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people don't say it's that good, but I think it looks quite interesting. You've got these claws, and they're your kind of preliminary weapon and way of navigating through the environment, it looks like, climbing, scaling walls and things like that. Seems to be lots of collectibles in this, in the same sort of vein, albeit with a darker tone to Banjo-Kazooie. So again, we'll see. Really love my 3D platformers and 2D platformers, so looking forward to that one. The next for the Gamecube is Batman Begins. This looks like the Arkham Knight games, the Arkham City and Arkham Asylum games, but obviously a precursor to that. The combat looks very similar, and apparently this is a very good game, and I'm really looking forward to driving around in the Tumbler. But obviously based on the Christian Bale film. Really looking forward to that one. Next for the Wii. Don't know too much about this one. I'm not sure if it's part of the Grim Fandango universe. It's kind of got that voodoo look to it. And this is Def Jr. for the Wii. Again, a 3D platformer action game. It looks really interesting, and apparently a bit of a hidden gem on the system. Hate that term, but best described. All these games are boxed and complete, albeit a bit tatty, some of them, especially the instruction booklet in Secret Command. Again, the Master System booklets, they do perish quite easily, and they've always got like tea stains on it, dirt, pen marks, scribbles of codes and things like that. So finding the manuals of Master System games in decent condition is very tricky. But anyway, that one looks quite interesting. For the PlayStation 3, I've picked up Dead Rising 2. Basically slaughtering loads of zombies, and who doesn't like that? I love my zombie games. And in this one, it looks like you you navigate the city, the town that you're set in, and you just bolt together different weapons, and you can use all sorts to kill these zombies. So really looking forward to playing this one. It looks like very good fun, very violent, but again, love my zombie games. I got that one. For the 3DS, which is the only handheld I collect for, I've got an RPG, and it's regarded as one of the best RPGs ever by many people, and that's Xenoblade Chronicles. Now I've got it on the Wii, but I fancy to go with this on the 3DS. The 3D version's obviously been scaled down for the portable system, but the music in this, I've only played probably about 2 or 3 hours of it so far. The music in this is gorgeous, really, really nice. Obviously they've scaled back on the graphics, and the textures are lower resolutions, and probably the polygon count isn't quite there, but the whole game is on there. And again in 3D, I think it just adds a, you know, no pun intended, a new dimension to these games. But see how far we get on this one. Apparently you can spend well over 100 hours playing this one. So again, it'll be playing it where I can, picking up, playing a couple of hours, saving it, and it'll keep me going for quite a while. This one, I've just got to make sure I retain the story. But this one was actually made for the new 3DS, and that's what I have. And I think this is the only game that is specifically made for the new 3DS. And in the new 3DS, you've got just a bit more horsepower to handle some of the graphics and some of the polygons and the technical aspects of games and things like that. So really looking forward to delving further into that one. Lastly, for the PlayStation 4 is Tales of Vesperia, which is a JRPG. Haven't played any of the Tales games, strangely enough. I've got one on the Gamecube, Tales of Symphonia, which I'm really looking forward to playing, and Tales of Xerceria, is it, or Vesperia, on the PlayStation 4, which is a remake of an older Tales game. But this is a newer version. It's got a few detractors, but apparently it's very good. So I thought, what better way to get into the series than with this one. Thoroughly looking forward to it. It looks very anime, very Japanese, and that's right up my street. Are you going to stay? And the last game here is for the PlayStation 4, and that's A Plague's Tale, Innocence. I'm quite far through this one now. I'm on stage 12 or chapter 12 of it, 17 or 18. Really love this game. Bit different. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Ico, where you're playing as this young woman and you have to hold the hand of Hugo, your little brother, and get him through these different scenarios, and you're being chased constantly by knights who are after you, and more specifically the boy for some reason. And again, the stories are very slow burner, but it's intriguing. I still don't know what the actual angle is on Hugo and the main story at the moment, but again, it keeps you playing. And the big thing in this is the horde of rats that are constantly after you, and they're afraid of light. So the only weapon you have in this is a slingshot, but you can also use that to put out flames, and then you stumble on a character who teaches you spells. And with the sling, you can knock people's helmets off, knock their light out, create fire. What else can you do? And there's other bits and bobs as well. But you have to get through all these levels, and it's like a very stealthy puzzle game where you're sneaking around, avoiding all these baddies that are after you, and of course the rats. But you can use the rats to get the baddies to get through, and yeah, very good game. And the graphics and the lighting engine in this are fantastic. It's set in the sort of medieval days, or albeit a fantastical one, and it's one of those games where there's such an attention to detail that you go through room to room, and barns and beautiful sunrises of farmlands, obviously with rats coming after you there, which isn't so beautiful. And I just find myself pausing the game and just looking around at all the details, and going in buildings into different rooms, and each one's had such a attention to detail. It's just fantastic in this game. Really looking forward to finishing this one. Again, not far to go. Thoroughly recommended. And there you go, guys. Not too many games here, and not too many retro, but again, I'm a gamer, retro and current gen, so, and everything in between, so I'm constantly picking up all sorts of games for many different systems. I've got more games over the last month or so, so there will be another pickups video coming up relatively soon. But until that time, take care, stay safe, maybe see you again sometime.